What's up, Doc? Welcome to the Docs Get Money podcast. Are you a badass doctor killing it professionally and has bigger dreams than just clocking in and out of the hospital? Do you want to leave behind a legacy that is as lit as an HBCU homecoming? Want to know how other doctors are getting to the big bag? That's right, making 5, 6, and 7 figures without putting on the white coat? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Kimberly, but you can call me Kim or KB. I went from being a burnt out and overwhelmed emergency physician to the founder and CEO of 2 six-figure non-clinical companies and beating burnout along the way. I'm also your business coach, here to help you make money moves to change the world. This podcast isn't just about making money, though. It's about leveling up your life, mindset, and bank account so you can build an empire that's as iconic as Beyonce. You ready? Let's get into it. If you're sitting on a mountain of expertise and wondering if it's possible to replace your clinical income while practicing full-time, I've got news for you. It's not just possible, it can happen in 90 days or less. But only if you create your FIRE offer, your express lane to fast income and a lifestyle that allows you to retire early, all while keeping your day job. Tailored for doctors ready to change lives outside of the exam room, you go from concept to cash in under 90 days as a consultant, coach, or midterm rental business. Think it's a stretch with your schedule? Think again. With the FIRE Offer Combustion Kit, you'll craft your expertise and story into an offer that's too hot to touch and sell it to make your first 4 or 5 figures. Ready to change lives and make bank fast? DM the word BURN to me, Dr. Kimberly, at Dr. Kimberly B on Instagram, and let's start a fire. Hi, everyone. Welcome to From Burnout to the Bag Masterclass. I'm going to get started in just a few minutes. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is the From Burnout to the Bag Masterclass, hosted by yours truly, Kimberly Brown. I'm so excited to have you guys here. This has been a labor of love. This has been something I've been working on. Honestly, this project has been kind of taking its form in different ways all throughout this year. And I'm so happy to have you guys in class today. So again, thank you guys so much again for your time tonight and for joining me for From Burnout to the Bag Masterclass, how to turn what pisses you off into profit without walking into the hospital. And so I really want you to know that this session is really going to be for you if you are tired of trading time in for money and you want a way to use your expertise to work for you without grinding yourself into the ground. This masterclass is going to be for you tonight if you want financial freedom, but you don't want to sacrifice your passion for helping people in the process in order to just get paid. The other reason why this class is going to be for you tonight, if you're watching, is you're probably ready for more control over your career and your life, but you're not sure how to start or even how to transition away from the bedside. This class is also going to be for you if you're done with the toxic house of medicine. I mean, hey, aren't all of us here? I mean, that's probably why you're on this class. You are done with medicine and you want to do something else. You want to create something that actually truly heals people and serves others in a truly deep and meaningful way and get paid in the process. You also want a proven roadmap to turn your knowledge into income without the overwhelm of starting from scratch. So like I said, this class is definitely going to be for you tonight. And this class is especially for you if you are looking for a smart, proven path to build wealth without feeling like you're juggling too many things at once or just getting yourself overwhelmed. So I trust that you'll really notice the value of applying all of the ideas that I'm going to be talking about tonight. So make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper or at least your notes app open so that you don't miss anything that I talk about tonight. All right. So I will say this too. Tonight is going to be unique and different for a bunch of different ways. Firstly, this class is a complete paradigm shift. Everybody is talking about burnout and is talking about how to get out of burnout. But what you're going to hear about tonight is how to use burnout to actually create a profitable business. there has been nobody on the market that I've seen that has been able to articulate this in ways. So this is going to be a completely different way for you to shift what you're experiencing, shift what you're going on, what's going on for in your life, and use it to help yourself to get out of a negative situation. This is also going to be practical knowledge. I will be straight with you, and you saw my credentials at the beginning of the process and right here at the bottom of the screen. I do not have an MBA. So everything that I have learned about business has been because of actual practical knowledge that I have implemented. And this is going to be practical skills and knowledge that you can use for yourself tonight as well too. And more specifically, I'd say this as well, that these strategies can be used today. This isn't anything that you need to wait and figure out anything to do first or anything else like that. You can use these strategies and these shifts that I'm going to teach you tonight today to increase the amount of money that you are currently making in your side hustle, in your business, or even starting your own business. So my big promise for you tonight, and the goal of our time together is to help you to turn what's pissing you off and turn it into a profitable business. However, like I said, I'm not long-winded. We only have a short period of time. It is Friday Eve. So at the end of the presentation, I will share with you how you can go deeper and actually start to implement in these ways or these tactics and tools in a way that will help you to make money in 90 days or less. So the only thing that I ask you to do is that you take action on the things that resonate with you. I do not want you to leave this masterclass with saying, wow, I learned so much. Thanks, Kim. This was amazing, fantastic, and walk away and not implement any single thing that I have taught you in class today. So I am really looking for you to be an action taker. All right. Tonight, you're probably facing some big challenges right now. The big challenges may be that you're frustrated. You feel like you went into medicine to help people, and now it just feels like you're just going through the motions. You may be facing this challenge where you feel like you've also invested so much in becoming a doctor between our student loan debt, throwing away our 20s, for some of us, our 30s. Is it actually a waste to walk away from everything now? And another challenge you may be facing right now is that you have some ideas about what you want to do as a business, a side hustle, or something that you want to grow, but you have absolutely no idea about how to turn them into a business. But here's what else I know about you. You also have got some pretty big desires. And those desires are that you want to unchain yourself from the golden handcuffs of being a bedside doctor and making all this great money, and still make income and still be able to match your level of income outside of the hospital. You also want to create a profitable business without feeling overwhelmed by it. And more specifically, I know that you want to achieve a clear and a proven path for making money on your own terms without having to use your degree. So I want to share a little bit more about my story and my experience, and how I got there. So May 2018, I found myself, like a lot of different times in my life, you guys are going to be soon to find, laying in my bed, actually just sobbing in tears. I was overwhelmed. I was frustrated. I was finishing up my emergency medicine residency at the University of Tennessee in Memphis, and I was trying to fill out my credentialing paperwork for my neurocritical care fellowship. And it just felt like the papers were stacked to the end, and I did not want to do them because at the end of the day, I realized that I did not want to go into fellowship. I love critical care. So if anybody knows anything about me and my passion about emergency medicine and clinical work, I love the bedside, the resuscitation, the code, the super sick septic patients, the sick strokes. I love all of that. That's really what gets me going, and that's what drove my passion into becoming an emergency physician. So after I got into residency, I started to enjoy what I was doing. I went to a very busy shop, or went to a very busy residency program, and there were a ton of sick people. And I was truly enjoying taking care of critically ill patients after every single shift. So when my attending slash my mentor started to ask me my second year what I wanted to do, I mean, at first, I really did want to be an ICU doctor, but I realized by the time I would be finishing residency, I was going to be 33, and then another 2 more years of fellowship is going to be 35. And then it's like, how much money am I going to be making as a fellow versus how much money I could be making as a board eligible emergency medicine attending? It started to not making sense to make sense to me. But I went ahead, I applied to the fellowship. I got in, was staying right here, and I was going to be one of the first, or actually the first, emergency medicine resident to go over to the neurocritical care side of the hospital and do a neurocritical care fellowship instead of just doing a traditional medical critical care fellowship. So once my program director found out about that, and once the CEOs of the hospital and the powers of B found out, like, so many people knew, and it was great. I mean, even though I was getting the accolades for it, it just didn't feel right. That's not really what I wanted to do. And I felt like the spotlight was already on me in so many different ways. As you can see, I'm the only little raisin in the oatmeal on all of these things that you're seeing in all of these pictures that you're seeing on the screen. And on top of that, I was the only Black and Caribbean resident in my program. So I already felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb, and I felt so much pressure to continue to keep going with the fellowship. But what I really, really wanted deep down inside is, like I said, not to have to do the fellowship, to continue to see sick people, and not necessarily, I didn't want to have to work in the ICU if I didn't want to, but I wanted to just start making money. All of my attendings at the program that I went to were making all kinds of money. Not only did they do very well in their clinical work, but they all had side hustles and side businesses that they were growing outside of their clinical work. And I knew that I did not want to be that doctor at the age of 70, 75, still picking up night shifts in the ED, still trying to intubate somebody with a laryngoscope and having to have somebody like pry the laryngoscope out of my hands. That's not what I saw myself. I saw myself probably like 10 years practicing emergency medicine full time. And then I was going to do something else that was going to allow me to live the life of my dreams, make money the way I wanted to. I mean, I didn't know what that was going to look like, but that's what I truly saw myself being. I did not see never saw myself as medicine defining me for the entirety of my life, if that makes any sense. So at that same time that I was starting to decide about the fellowship, and also to just figure out what I wanted with my life. My attendings kept asking me, so what are you going to do? What do you want to do? I kept seeing other physicians around me, other Black women physicians, other Black male physicians, really start to pop out on social media in different ways that I had never seen them do before. Like, they started speaking on stages, and they were going live on social media, and they were writing books and launching products. I'm like, whoa, that's what I want to do. Like, that's the type of doctor that I see myself as. And so I just, I didn't know how to get there just yet, but I just knew that just spending 2 more years in a fellowship behind a white coat in a sick ICU caring for neurologically devastated patients, although so interesting, and I still love it to this day, it's not what I truly saw myself doing. And I saw it to deterring the dreams and the visions that I had for my life, and where I felt like my life should be going, if that makes sense. So what I decided to do back in in May of 2018, literally 1 month before I was supposed to finish residency, and 1 month before I was supposed to start my neurocritical care fellowship, without getting out of bed, tears were still coming down my face, I picked up my iPhone and I dialed my future program director's number, and I quit the program before I even started. immediately. I felt so much better. But then kind of a quiet panic started to set in, like, okay, well, now what do I do? Like, what do I want to do now? Where do I start now that I don't have to do the fellowship? Where do I go from here? So I started doing everything. I started doing everything in order to chase what I saw other doctors doing. So I also started side hustling. I started speaking on stages. I started appearing on in the media. I even accomplished some of my big dreams of being on Untold Stories of the ER. That's a picture that you can see right there on their left and in the bottom right corner as well. I had my own episode on season 13, episode 4, Heart Stings. I got a chance to film House Hunters with my brother, and I wouldn't have been able to do either one of these things if I was a first year fellow in a neurocritical care program. But because I was able to have the control back of my time, my life, and I was able to just really explore and do what I wanted to do, those opportunities were afforded to me. I had a blast. The other things I was doing was I was writing books. I am a super avid reader. Although I don't pick up a book anymore as much, I usually listen to audiobooks. But as a kid, I was always surrounded around books. And I'd love to go to the library and I would love to just read, and kind of just get lost in the fantasy. And so one of a few of my dreams in life was actually to be an author of a book. And I did that definitely. I wrote 2 books. The first, it's an emergency, understanding the what, how, and why of your ER visit. And also I co-wrote Still MD, 2 Physicians' Advice for International Students and Graduates. And so I thought, okay, I'm writing books now. That'll make me money as well. That'll make me super famous and that'll bring in the income. Everything that I did in the 2 years after I finished residency made me look successful on the outside, but more specifically, it did not bring me a whole lot of funds in my purse. I will say this, my clinical job, I was able to work full time. I made a great salary and worked a great contract for the time being. But like I said, none of my outside adventures and I'd say entrepreneurial efforts got me to where I wanted to be and did not even touch the amount of money that I was making in the emergency department. Then 2020 happened. And if anybody remembers your girl, it was old coronavirus, the old panorama that we went through in 2020. And of course, as an emergency medicine physician, but more specifically as an entrepreneur that was basing my entrepreneurship on my persona as Dr. Kimberly, my expertise in emergency medicine, etc., it really didn't seem ethical at the time to be selling products, especially during the global pandemic when honestly I was scared shitless during the first few phases or few months of the pandemic. I didn't know if North Mississippi and the Memphis area was going to be the next New York, was going to be the next Detroit, was going to be the next New Orleans. So I shut everything down. I was already starting to get burnt out from doing my side hustles because it just got to be a lot. I eventually did pick up some telemedicine that started actually right before the pandemic, which saved me. And I was able to do some things, some non clinical work during the pandemic and make money. But then that started to burn me out as well, too. I didn't really want to talk about emergency medicine or talk about what was going on in the ED because, hey, if anybody knows, North Mississippi, West Tennessee, East Arkansas, really at that time did not believe that COVID was even real. And then on top of that, my schedule kept getting flipped around. I was driving for hours to see patients and things like that as well too. I didn't want to talk about what was going on at work after work, and I wanted some time to myself, if that makes sense. And more specifically, like I said, nobody was really buying anything from me because I didn't feel ethical selling anything during this time, during the pandemic. So telemedicine was my girl. I did a couple of speaking for free for my church and other community groups that really wanted to have accurate knowledge about what was going on and what could be sifted as truth and what was fiction from my experience in the emergency department. But the telemedicine made me some good money, but it kept me just chained to my laptop or chained to my phone. And again, I still wasn't making the same level of money that I could just start to quit or start to leave my emergency medicine job. So, for some reason, this is me, of course, during the pandemic, and it was just a really hard time for me emotionally. I can't express that enough. It was hard to see people that I used to probably be able to save just unfortunately just pass away and die. We did not have a cure back at the time where these pictures were taken. This was like literally like April. The first picture in me in the bunny suit was literally me Easter Sunday. I spent like almost a whole shift in the ED watching the Clark Sisters movie, and then at the end of my shift, it's like everybody's tremendously sick started to come in, so we got working, and I had to intubate people. It was a lot going on. It was hard, but I decided that what I was doing or what I had done didn't work. I wanted to keep going, and I wanted to go bigger on my dreams. So, what I decided to do is to I'll show you the video as I'm talking. Just go bigger and actually invest in a rental property with a business partner. I've started thinking more about real estate investing and seeing the fact that all millionaires and billionaires have some sort of real estate in their portfolio. And hey, if I wanted to be a millionaire and a billionaire one day too, I'm going to have to invest into real estate as well too. So I went into this fixer upper that you're seeing here and ended up spending thousands upon thousands of dollars that I earned from telemedicine and my bedside work in the ED to purchase and renovate this property. And honestly, it was ended up being a money pit. It was not as great as I thought it was going to be. You see all the people getting fix and flips. I knew, oh, Memphis is a rental town. I can make so much money off of this. It just never worked out for me. And again, I started to feel like a failure. It's like I kept starting things and kept doing things to begin to earn money outside of medicine. But for me, it kept hitting like these brick walls or these big problems that I did not understand how to get over. And so one night, it just kind of hit me. I was on a stretch of like 5 or 6 shifts, night shifts, back to back at that same North Mississippi hospital in the middle of COVID. I'm intubating people overnight. I'm having all these difficult conversations with people. I'm really just, you know, I really got worked over that night, that 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., where it should be literally a graveyard in the hospital. Your girl got worked over. So I went back to my terrible 2-star hotel. And if you know anything about me, I'm at least a 3 or 4-star hotel person, but there's not any 3 or 4-star hotels in the part of North Mississippi that I was working in. And I flopped down on the bed and I just cried. I was so mad. I was mad because I felt like my work was starting to be in vain. Again, I'm working all night long and going upstairs, leaving the ED to go to the ICU to intubate sick COVID patients. I'm trying to have discussions with family over the phone who's arguing back with me. Oh no, they don't have COVID. You just made them have COVID. That's just all a part of the system, like all of those things. Then on top of that, my locums that I was doing my scheduler started to really fuck up my shifts. So I would be working 12-hour overnight shifts in like one place, like 2 hours, let's say south of Memphis. And then the next night I have to work another 12-hour shift, like 2 hours north of Memphis. I started to get super, super, super exhausted, overwhelmed. I felt like a zombie. And more specifically, I just felt frustrated. I had no way out. I tried to do so many things to get out, write books, do telemedicine, um, speak on stages and ask for them to pay me. All of the things that I saw everyone else doing, it all seemed to work for them, but when I did it, it didn't seem to work for me. And so that's when it just hit me. I walked in the room. After that shift that morning, I flopped on that bed. Well, I took off my scrubs first and left them in a pile in the bathroom. Let me be really real with you. And I flopped down on the bed and I cried. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to be at home so bad. The fact that my house was like an hour and 25 minutes away, if I floored at home and jumped in the bed and went to sleep right away, and then I would probably have enough time to get back. But it's like all of that energy, I'm already laying in the bed and I have to be back in the morning. Like, I just wish that I was in a place that wasn't necessarily a two-star hotel, but it was a place where I could heal myself again. I could like really feel like I could fully restore myself and get back to 100% me and then go back into work. Like I felt like when I could work from home or work like closer to home, I really needed that. And so laying there, I actually dreamed up the first part of Sherwood Properties, but I just kind of tucked those dreams away for just a few months. And I ended up going to sleep and kind of continuing on with the shifts until I was not. At the same time, I was starting to hear about midterm rentals and short-term rentals. So Airbnb, people making a lot of money off of Airbnb. That's when the boom was happening. And then more specifically, I started to hear that I could get into it without owning any property. Now, that started to sound a little fishy to me, but that also intrigued me. After the whole money pit experience that rental property was, I definitely knew that real estate investment was something I still wanted to pursue. But at this time, I was not about to spend thousands of dollars to go down the drain yet again in order for me to start another real estate investing. That's not what I wanted to do. But I started to look into it. And it's so funny, funny, haha, and funny, interesting, is that I ended up following someone on Instagram and she actually DM'd me after I followed her. And she offered me her course, which was only like $297. And the whole course was how to start your short term rental in 30 days or less. And so she had started her own 6-figure business from doing it, all of that. She wasn't a physician. She was another Black woman just like me who had created this level of success. And so I said, $297 an hour. An hour. I said $297 for the course. I was like, that's about how much I make per hour. So if I can spend about what it makes for me to make it an hour on this course and probably learn something that's going to help me start a 6-figure business, why not? Like, I just took a bet on it. Like, let's just see if this is going to work. Like, literally, that's what I was thinking. What do I have to lose? Let's just see. So I decided to make the decision. I invested in her class and I took it. I actually listened to it a couple of different times. And before I actually started to put some things into action. And so I had another time, I was like, okay, Kim, you didn't watch this thing about these videos like 3 times now. Are you going to go ahead and to do this? Or are you going to just keep watching it and you're going to just say you just blew $300 on the class? So I decided to bet on myself and I said, okay, let me just start implementing, taking it step by step and see what's going to get me. So I actually did. I followed her process and I got my very first property within 1 week. So this is my very, very, very first property, modern luxury in the medical district, which was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment that I got through a combination of corporate leasing and rental arbitrage. And I took just a few of my telemedicine dollars and put it together and spent about $5,000, I'd say, designing, furnishing this and getting it marketed. And then in less than 40 days, I actually made my first $3,000 in my business when I had my first guest as a travel nurse. And then she stayed with me for 3 months and that ended up being $9,000. And after that guest left, I kept going and I kept booking more and more travel nurses for different periods of time, getting partnerships with local hospitals, and opened up a second rental after 7 months. And I made over $15,000. So that was the very first year or the first few months, I should say, of Sherwood Properties being incepted. And so in 2023, we grew even bigger. So the company grew because I extended my company. At the bottom right, bottom left hand corner, you can see myself in the middle with my cleaner and my assistant, my in-person assistant at the time, and who's not being pictured is also my virtual assistant who is here tonight, Cynthia. She also joined the team. And then you also can see that I actually moved my properties to a different building and actually expanded to 5 other ones. You're looking at Serenity Suite, you're looking at Tranquil Abode, and you're also looking at the upgraded version of Modern Luxury down in the left-hand corner as well too. So I grew my team, I grew my property, I grew my income, and I made over $100,000, actually $142,000 and $142,505.23 while I was still working full time. And on top of that, I did not feel burnt out when I got to work anymore. I felt so free that I was able to envision what I wanted for myself. I found a problem that I could solve, and I solved it for other people. And I was helping other people that needed it in the most. Other burned out traveling medical professionals, like nurses, like doctors, like physical therapists, like occupational therapists, other patient families. Memphis is huge in trauma, and we also have a huge burn center. And also St. Jude's Hospital is located in Memphis, Tennessee. So there's a ton of patients and patient families that travel to the area that need housing. And I was able to provide that for them. And more importantly, I was making money in a way that felt ethical and sustainable. I was not having to get up in the middle of the night and go clean something, or there were some issues that sometimes I needed to resolve in the middle of the night, some emergencies. But for the most part, the systems and things that I put into place helped me to grow my side hustle, or just my dream of something in the middle of what was pissing me off, my horrible at the time life. I was sick of everything and frustrated with my clinical work, and actually make it into a profitable business. And so one of the things that I learned is that I didn't need multiple side hustles to create a huge stream of income. Trying to achieve that too soon actually caused me to burn out at work and in my side hustles, and in my businesses. So I needed to actually find the problem in what was pissing me off, and then use that and my passion to start a real business and not a fly by night side hustle. So my big revelation is that when I turned my pissed offness into profit, that was the fastest way for me to make money without wearing a white coat. And that's what I want you to realize tonight, is turning your pissed offness into profit is the fastest way to making money without wearing the white coat. And the reason why this is so relevant and necessary to understand right now is everyone knows that physician burnout is extraordinarily high, with female physicians being more likely to report being burnt out than male physicians at a 56% versus 44% respectively. Respondents to a study by Medscape showed that respondents were struggling with severe burnout. More severe burnout was honestly also more likely to be female as well. We also know that emergency medicine always tops the list as the specialties with the most burnout, with most emergency physicians, meaning greater than probably 70% of emergency physicians saying that they are burnt out and tired of clinical medicine. And we have been leaving the bedside in droves, as is nurses, as is other physicians and doctors in the house of medicine as well too. So I'm not here to tell us to stay. Clearly I'm not. But if we leave medicine, what then happens with our lives next? What do we do with all of our skills, with all of our talents? How do we now make money if we decide to leave the bedside? So we've spent the years of training, the educational and the clinical practice. It can feel like we're leaving it all behind and all is lost. But when you start a business right now from a place of understanding that there's a problem and that's pissing you off, that's how you'll start to learn how to get more money outside of the hospital. Because when we have that time to reflect, we realize that we can get laser focused on finding a solution and making more money and working smarter and not harder. So, wanted to share that story with you. Let's go a little bit deeper into tonight's talk. I feel like I've been talking a lot. And let's start with the very first point that I want to talk to you guys about tonight is I want you to know that being pissed off actually can equal your profit. So being pissed off is actually a game changer if you are considering starting a business, or if you feel like you're in that situation that you're just needing to do something else, because being pissed off and being angry lights a fire in you that nothing else can. When you are angry, when you are frustrated, when you're just plain fed up, you're not willing to settle for the bullshit any longer. And so that energy usually creates a powerful force for change. It'll drive you to find solutions, take action, and more specifically, build something better. I don't want you to be like Teresa Giudice here and flipping tables because Danielle got engaged 19 times. But at the same time, like I said, I want you to know that it can lead you to your profit. Let's go deeper. So when you're pissed off, that usually will lead you to a problem that you can solve. When you're pissed off, you'll see problems a lot more clearly. You're not sugarcoating things, or you stop making excuses for people. You get laser focused on what's wrong. And so that clarity allows you to pinpoint any gaps and inefficiencies in systems, which means that you're primed to create solutions that addresses real needs. And so your business idea starts with, I'm sick of this, and I bet other people are too. And so if other people are pissed off, and that means they have problems as well, and that primes you in the position to solve them. If you're pissed off about something, it also usually means that you're passionate. So, anger is energy. Instead of letting it fester, you can channel that energy into something productive. So, being pissed off gives you the momentum to take action, to push through challenges, and to build something that actually and truly matters. If you've been stuck in the same routine or hesitating to make the move, usually that passion is that is that spark that will get you off the sidelines. When you're pissed off, you're usually more specifically in your purpose. When you're angry, it's because you actually give a shit. Not that you don't give a shit, it's that you really do give a shit about what's going on. And that's something that you're usually passionate about fixing. And if you're positioning yourself as an entrepreneur based on something that is going to help you to, if you're starting a business based on something that's going to help you to channel your pissed offness into something profitable, you're already setting off your business to start off with a very strong purpose. It really will not be for you to just make money for other people. It's really about helping other people to solve their problems, to create change, and more specifically to help other people avoid what you've experienced and the frustrations that you've had. And so when you start a business off of being purpose driven from your pissed offness, then that type of mission driven energy resonates with other people, and it fuels your drive to continue to succeed as well too. And more specifically, when you are pissed off, people are going to pay for the solutions that you provide. When you deeply care about the problem that you're addressing, it shines through in your messaging. Anyone that you can see that truly loves what they do and truly loves the people that they are seeking to serve, it pours out of them in their sales, it pours out of them in their marketing, and also pours out of them when they're actually doing the thing that they are saying that they're going to do. And so you're not just selling a product or just offering some coaching or starting an Airbnb. You are advocating for something to change, and people resonate with authenticity. And so people that share those same frustrations, those same thoughts, those same ideas makes it easier for them to find you and then connect with you and your audience as well too. So, the best thing that I have heard, and I did a little bit of research on this, is that I actually found out that pissed off doctors make the best entrepreneurs. There is a lot of studies out there that shows that we are the best ones to actually start a business. More specifically, because we have the most successful transitions. When we deal with our burnout and deal with what's going on in our minds and um, really channel our emotional and mental health first, we have the emotional and mental bandwidth to take on new challenges and new roles. A study by Physician on Fire showed that doctors who took the time to manage their stress and their anger were 25% more likely to transition to full-time entrepreneurship within the first 2 years of starting their side business. It also makes you more creative when you're pissed off. Um, you usually will see a boost in creativity and innovation because you're able to think outside of the box, come up with new business ideas, and create new solutions for problems in the marketplace that sets you apart. The other thing is that you have higher rates of success in building business, again, aligned with your values. A white coat investor study showed that physicians who addressed their burnout were 48% more likely to build businesses that aligned with their personal visions and their values, leading to longer term success and satisfaction in their entrepreneurial ventures. We're going to talk about time management in just a second. But the big thing that I think that points out to me is that you have longer entrepreneurial longevity. I think a lot of doctors are afraid to start their own businesses because they've never had business experience before. They've never, gotten an MBA before. Maybe they have and they still don't know how to start a business. But when you come from a place of understanding and identifying what's going on and what's pissing you off, that puts you in position to stay in the game as an entrepreneur a lot longer because we as doctors usually pace ourselves at that time, and ensure that we don't burn out or create the same burnout inducing habits in our business that we are running away from in the hospital as well too, and we won't have that same entrepreneurial role. So when I found out that basically if I'm burned out as a doctor and I want to start a business, I am more likely to be successful. I'm going to be even more creative. My business is super likely to be aligned with something that truly resonates with me. I'm more likely to make a lot of money and be stable in that level of money. And I'm going to be in the game for a long period of time. I'm not just going to be side hustling. That got me sold. That sold me right there. The other thing that you need to know in order to go from burnout into the bag is that you have to make your time count. So all of us are likely still working full time in the emergency department or in the hospital or in the clinic, wherever you're working. So since we are still working clinically and we have our own personal lives, life is still going to go on regardless of what we've got going on. Your time is everything. And that's why we need to focus on efficiency and making high impact money moves in order to make things work quickly. So, efficiently using your time will help you, to juggle multiple roles as you're transitioning out of a full time job if that's what you want to do. And more specifically, sometimes people feel like, okay, when I start a business, that means I just need to be doing all of the things in order to be successful. No, being busy is not what you need to be doing right now. What you do need to do is to be productive. Because when you're busy without getting the results that you need, that's going to lead to burnout and to frustration. So the goal overall is to shift from being busy is to being productive. Here's also why. Time is so much more valuable than money. It is your biggest asset. Because when it's gone, it's gone. We are only here on the face of the earth for, on average now, maybe about 80 years if we are doing things right. Maybe sometimes God will let us live a little bit longer. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's a little bit shorter. But let's just say we live until we're 80. If you're 40 or above right now, your life is halfway over. So you definitely cannot buy a whole lot more time. And so it's our resource that we can't renew for ourselves anymore. When it's important to maximize your time because all actions are not created equal. Again, like we talked about before, it's not about just being busy. It's about taking the actions that you need to directly move your business forward. So that means by focusing on high impact actions like selling your offer, marketing your offer, engaging with your clients directly, anything that directly brings money into your business, you need to be focused on that with the little time that you do already have. And also, remember that success breeds success. So whenever you prioritize tasks that deliver those results, those money moves that you need to be making, then you start seeing wins quickly. So your time has collapsed and you're actually able to do things even faster, and which builds momentum, boosts your confidence, and makes you more motivated to keep going, to keep earning, and to create that positive feedback loop that will help you to see success and drives more and more. However, when you don't prioritize your time, you are again busy and burnt out, which is never the goal. You waste your time and your money. Again, that's not the goal. And a lot of times you're standstill in business. If you're trying to do all of the things in your business, including build a website, figure out your social media strategy, ask people how to, if they want to work with you or not, it's all overwhelming. And so usually you don't do it at all, which means you don't earn any money. So this is all about reframing how you move and how you look at your time based on these two different things or two different ideologies. So let's imagine you're out to sea, and you're trying to navigate your way to success. You could take one approach to getting to success, and that could be the rowboat approach. This is when you are rowing endlessly, paddling, sweating. Well, my girl here is not sweating, but she's looking fabulous and winking. But it's going to take her a long time, as cute as she is, to get to her goal of success, right? No matter how much you row, though, you're not really getting any closer to that destination. And that's exactly what busy work feels like as an entrepreneur. You're constantly moving, you're constantly doing something, but you're just kind of drifting in circles, kind of spinning around and around, exhausting yourself and not making any progress on your goal. Or you could take the lighthouse approach, which is what I suggested you take, which if you think about a lighthouse, the lighthouse stands tall, stands still, and shines a bright light for that guides ships to shore. It's efficient and it's powerful and it's effective. It doesn't waste its energy, and it directs all its power through to a single purpose, showing the way. And so that's what it is when you are doing high impact money moves in your business, when you are making it important to continue to ask people if they want to work with you, continuing to sell your offer, continuing to allow people to know that there's an opportunity, that there's a help, that you can solve a problem that they're having, instead of kind of scattering everything all over, trying to be a website designer and a logo designer and spending all of your time on Canva. No. Your focus on the tasks that matter act as beacons, and it guides you step by step towards the pathway of success and brings clients and revenue into your door. Okay, let's talk about one of my clients. Enough about all of that. Let's talk about my clients. So this is Dr. Dimitri Azuko. He's a family medicine physician and a certified fitness trainer. And the reason why I bring him up is because this is something that he was struggling with in his business. Sales were at a standstill for AeroFit, his certified fitness trainer business. And so he was also just kind of struggling to sell his one-on-one coaching. He was spending days and days on end sending cold DMs to people and hearing crickets. And despite marketing and sales activities, which was exactly what he's supposed to be doing as an entrepreneur, he was getting burnt out in the process because he wasn't getting any results. So what we did as we worked together is that we implemented my strategy called Ignite, the 90-day process to making money fast outside of the hospital. And when we were able to implement Ignite, we got him managing his time differently and shifting the tasks that he was doing as far as sales and marketing and tweaking them in order for him to see results in his business. Oops. Well, might as well just get right to it. So the results of that is after he started the business or started tweaking things and managing his time differently and managing his actions differently, he made $15,000 in 23 days. Here is the proof right here. November 20th of last year, we were interacting with each other. And then on December 13th, he messaged me and said he closed his first high ticket client when he made $15,000, like I said, in 23 days. That was all from, again, aligning his time, doing focused, intentional actions that brings money in the door quickly, and not just doing things just to burn yourself out in the process. So the third thing that you need to do in order to go from pissed off to profitable or from burnout to the bag is you need to start a fire. Listen, when I am mad, there's nothing like a Pisces sun, Aries moon, Libra rising, i.e., me. So I got a water sign. That's usually me all the time. I'm usually very sweet, very calm, very emotional. I'm super intuitive. But when my fire kicks in, it really kicks in. So starting a fire is something that I considered multiple times as I was in the throes of my burnout. I had fantasies about starting small little trash bag fires like around the hospital. Like, I was going to save all the patients first, but you know what I'm saying. I was just over it. So I'm taking this as a spin of, no, I don't want you to go out and start causing fires in the hospital or wherever you work. I don't want you to be an arsonist. I want you to become a fire starter in a way that actually is profitable for you, of course. So it's important to not just have anger, just to have it, just to be built up and just to hold it inside yourself and until you explode. That's how cancer gets started. That's how all types of diseases, as we know as physicians, get started. It's time to put that energy into a vehicle that's going to actually drive you down the path of success. Or I'd say more specifically, a business model that can make you money. Now, you can start any type of business. You guys have seen, I'm the side hustle queen. I have done so many different side hustles in this world, even before I got into medical school. I should have told you about the time that I was a bill collector and worked at Jenny Craig, all of those things. So I know that you can start any type of business, but your best bet right now to become a fire starter is to start one of the three types of businesses that I call fire. And that is fast income so that you can retire early. And those three business models to start a fire is coaching, consulting, and midterm rentals. Coaching is helping other people deal with problems that involve habits, mindsets, skills, or even lifestyle changes because they're going to need consistent support and motivation as well as accountability to overcome them. So coaching allows you to create a structured yet flexible process that you can adapt to individual client needs and offer tailored solutions to help them make lasting changes in their life. Consulting, on the other hand, is more of solving specific problems for higher level organizations and also businesses as well too. So that works very well if you have expertise on strategic planning, leadership, on operational management, even wellness, health and wellness. Corporate health and wellness is huge right now. And so if businesses are struggling with inefficiencies in some of those areas, as a consultant, you can come in and help them implement actionable strategies in order to solve those problems. And those consulting can be scaled across entire organizations as well too. And midterm rentals, of course, you guys know I started my midterm rental business, Sherwood Properties. But a little bit more about exactly what that is that you are providing shorter term housing for people, kind of I'd say anywhere between 2 weeks to sometimes to 9 months, depending on where you live, for people that are coming to your area for a multitude of different reasons and needs. Temporary housing that's not going to be able to fit in the standard 12 13, 15-month leases. So that offers a stable and flexible accommodation solutions for these people. Like I said, it's much shorter than a traditional lease. And a lot of times people that could be relocating for work, of course, extended travel, of course, patient families, life transitions, things like that. Also, digital nomads, people that are undergoing home renovations. There's so many people that fall under this category. So that's who midterm rentals really services. What also is super awesome about midterm rentals is that you can really get predictable income without all of the short-term hassles. I never set out to start a Airbnb business at all. But what's appealing about Airbnb is that you can make a lot of money because of the quick turnover. You're basically almost running a hotel out of your property when you obtain it. But when you have a midterm rental, you'll have people there for a lot longer period of time, which is a more steady income stream. You're not worried about filling up a weekend, dropping your prices, things like that. And you can also offer a lot of more flexibility and convenience without, like I said, the unpredictability of kind of shorter term traditional rentals can be. So what makes those things fire? What makes it fire is that they're transformative. Each one of those business models that I shared with you, coaching, consulting, and midterm rentals, really can solve a deep, true need for people to in their place of need, whether they're burnt out and they're traveling, whether they're transitioning from one living situation to another, whether they're having renovations on their home, whether people are just trying to learn something new or develop new skills. Coaching, consulting, and midterm rentals can all provide those opportunities for people. They're also scalable. You can just start with one client, one contract as a consultant. Start with one property, your first few guests, and as you grow, and as you want to increase your income, it's super easy to do that, whether you go to the one to many model as a coach, whether you decide to obtain more properties as a midterm rental business, whether you decide to sign on more, take on more contracts as a contractor, or excuse me, as a consultant. So there's ways for you to grow your income seamlessly and effortlessly. These skills also can also leverage your current skills and expertise as well too. So as doctors, we're natural coaches and consultants. We're always talking to our patients about their problems, creating solutions for them, and helping to guide them to what they want, a healthy life, right? Also, midterm rentals can be the same way. You may have a really, really great knack for creating environments that are healing and comfortable for people, that you really understand your city or the location where you decide to pick your midterm rental business. And so you're able to really leverage your current knowledge and your current expertise on helping other people to do that for themselves. And the best thing about it, I'd say, which is that there's really no to pretty small startup costs to start each of those businesses. The only thing that I would say is that you have to invest in is for midterm rentals. There is money to be invested in that, usually to furnish the property, secure leases, et cetera, and so forth. But other than that, it returns the money to you very quickly. Coaching and consulting, basically, you don't need any money to get started. You don't need a certification. You don't need anything really to get started as a coach, but you need to be sold on your experience and sold on your offer. That's the biggest thing that you need to buy into is yourself at the first part. I'd also say that each one of these things are fire because you can do them from anywhere in the world. The best thing I found with midterm rentals is that when I got a team into place, I felt free to go ahead and leave the Memphis area, work my locum shifts, and I wasn't as worried about what was happening at my property when I wasn't in town. And of course, you can coach and consult anywhere. If you have a phone, if you have an internet connection and a camera, you're able to connect with your clients anywhere in the world, and I absolutely love that. So let's talk about what happens when you become a fire starter. You start a business that serves you, which after being burnt out from medicine and feeling like it has taken, it honestly feels amazing to know that it's okay And that's what it's supposed to do, is the business actually serves you as well too. You don't start a business just to give everything all away. You do it to actually build yourself back up. And that's one of the best things about becoming a fire starter, starting your own fire, is that you are building back into yourself. You also make money really, really fast. Like you heard me talk about Sherwood Properties. I made $3,000 in 40 days, 15K in 7 months. And then I made over $100,000 in 2023 just from what I had just created just a few months prior. So making money fast, and you're able to just regain control of your schedule again and your life. And more specifically, you are free. You are free to again make the choices that you want, to live the life that you want, and make the schedule that you want to have. All right. So let me talk about my experience actually starting 2 fires in 2 years. You already heard about Sherwood Properties. I talked to you in depth about that. But let me share a little bit more with you about what happened with me afterwards. Sherwood Properties was going. It was going well. We were in the middle of growing pains in the early stages, which all new businesses go through. And I really, truly loved what I was doing, and I wanted more. Running it with my team, building a team. I'd never hired anyone before, never fired anyone before. But really becoming the CEO of that business, of Sherwood Properties, and owning that was so freeing for me that I had something to look forward to. I wasn't so worried about what was going on at work. I was able to think about in my spare time how I can continue to grow, how I can continue to serve my clients, and my and be a good team leader as well too. So I just knew that I wanted other doctors to feel like that as well too. I knew I was impacting lives with Sherwood Properties. I knew that the guests that were coming through were happy, were satisfied, were ecstatic. I had repeat guests multiple times as well too. But I just wanted to go deeper and just serve them in a different way. So I decided at the time, actually right before 2023, late 2022, I decided to hire a business coach to help me grow Sherwood Properties, because I had absolutely no clue what the hell I was doing as far as building a business. And more specifically, I had big dreams for Sherwood Properties. That is going to be my multi-million dollar, at least 7-figure business, but I had no blueprint for that. And so after working with this coach and seeing the results that I was able to create, I knew that that's what I wanted to do with someone else, to be able to walk with them step by step, side by side, and help them to get over the mindset hurdles and get over the overwhelm that it can be when you are starting your own business. So I decided to become a coach myself. I had a passion. I knew that there were other people that wanted to feel like this. I kept having conversations with other doctors, dentists, pharmacists, so many other of us that were going through the same thing. And I wanted us to feel like we could find ourselves again and reconnect with who we were truly and in essence, with entrepreneurship. So, but life was honestly lifing. Like I said, Sherwood Properties was going through its growing pains. It was definitely growing, but it was painful. And life was lifing in my personal life as well too. I was going through a very, very, very nasty divorce that was physically dangerous for me. And so I started to leave the city, like you heard me say before, in order to work and do locums, to kind of not to kind of to keep myself physically safe. And it was not the most ideal time for me to start yet another business, but I was determined. I knew that how I felt about my entrepreneurship, I wanted someone else to feel like that as well too. So I ended up starting to become a business coach. I got certified to become a business coach. And while I was halfway through my business coaching certification, I decided to create and launch my very first coaching program, a coaching offer from my couch on July 1st, 2023, with just a Google Doc and a belief in myself that I knew I could help another doctor. And so in less than 6 hours of launching, I had a backlog of over 300 clients, or people that were inquiring about working with me. And within the first 3 weeks of launching that coaching offer, I made over $24,000 as a business coach. I was able to create as a fire starter yet another amazing business that serves not only me, but also serves others in a truly meaningful way, made money quickly, and gave me even more control over my life back. It helped me to feel free at a time when I was especially feeling trapped. Yes, another case study. So let me share with you one of my current clients, Dr. Sharish Chambers. You may know her on social media as the period doctor, but she's also a social media and visibility coach, and she's the creator and the founder of Reclamation RX. When Sharish and I started working together, she shared with me that she wanted to really transform and create something she had never created before. She had already built a very successful and popular professional brand on Instagram as the period doctor. And she also grew a very successful speaking and consulting company that allows her to live her life of her dreams. She's married with a beautiful baby on the way. She is doing amazing. And so other doctors, just like us, saw her success and wanted to work with her for years. And they wanted her help growing their own brands and their social media presence, but she wasn't sure how to exactly help them. And she knew that she probably should be charging for this, but she didn't know how to charge for it. She just didn't know what to do. So the other thing on top of that is, like I said, she's currently pregnant with her beautiful baby boy, and she's due next month with her very first child. And she wanted to start helping people before she delivered. She told me, Kim, I've been thinking about this for years. I'm tired of waiting any longer. I'm ready to just do it. I'm ready to go. I got all this energy in me and I'm ready to start. I'm like, okay, boom. So without having a whole lot of time, without having a whole lot of experience in being a coach, she just had her own personal experience of how she was able to grow her social media presence from zero to over 200,000 followers and being able to start a profitable business that would sustain her from her social media platform. We worked together using my fire offer combustion kit to create Reclamation RX, which is how she helps women physicians and other women, Black women high achievers, uh, translate their offline presence into their online presence and start to make make a profitable business off of that as well too. And so, like I said, she created and launched Reclamation RX in less than 30 days. So in 27 days, I actually went back in the calendar and I counted the days. And she's had over 40 inquiries into her business, and she's had more than 8 sales calls scheduled. She's had way more sales calls than that, but those are kind of like the discovery calls. She's had over 40 discovery calls. She's talked to everybody, but she's also had 8 sales calls as well too. I'm so proud of her. So what she learned, the biggest insight that she got is that every time that she and I talks, it reinforces why the fire offer combustion kit was so necessary. She says it may have taken her 2 to 3 years just to do this on her own, and it would have all been all these barriers in the way that I already have plans for already. She said that it's very helpful and so encouraging. So I want to share with you a little bit more about the fire offer combustion kit. In my program, From Side Hustler to CEO, I walk you through this tool called the Fire Offer Combustion Kit. It's the exact tool that you're going to use to create your own consulting, coaching, or midterm rental business, both quickly and strategically. It's everything that you need to know. Nothing you don't need to know, only the facts, just the facts, in order to get the business solid and off the ground. It's everything that you need, from identifying your first ideal client to pricing your offer and overcoming common hurdles or obstacles that people would have, or questions they may have about your offer the first time they're hearing about it. And the best part of it all, this is all designed in a program that helps you to get results in 90 days or less without overwhelming you. Again, it's only the facts, strictly the facts on how to get your midterm rental, your coaching, or your consulting business off the ground. So this is really where the magic happens for you as a brand new entrepreneur. The last thing that I want to talk about tonight is solve problems with sales. I saved the best for last, and I saved this for last because no one wants to talk about sales. No one wants to talk about money. Well, before you cringe and say, okay, girl, I'm logging off. Thanks, Kim. It's been a great night. I want you to reframe this for me. Just stick with me for just a few minutes. Sales is not about pushing something on people. It's really about showing them the solution to their problem. And once you are selling something to someone, it's simply guiding people to making a decision, and offering them, like I said, the solution to their problem. You're connecting with them about something that they truly need, right? And that's honestly where the magic happens. Sales is how you go from the idea to the actual income. That's where the cash starts to flow, all of those things. And when you're actually turning your fire offer into cash. So why am I talking about sales? The biggest thing is your business is only legitimate when you earn your first dollar. After you've done the fire offer combustion kit, or after you made all of the plans to start your business and it's looking good on paper, the only thing that you need to do is translate it into actuality. In order to do that, you have to put it in front of a person as an offer and make an offer to help them with their problem with sales process. So you can only just have a business on a piece of paper, but the sales is the actual connection, like I said, to the idea and actually impacting people and the income that you need to make as well too. The other thing that is really, really cool about sales is that you don't need any formal education to learn how to sell. Some of the best people that I've ever bought from have not been college educated, don't have MBAs, any of that. They have spent the time and the energy that it takes to understand both their product, the person that they're selling it to, and also themselves as a salesperson, to understand how to translate their experience into a solutions driven sales, to solve my problem. And the benefits of kind of mastering all of this and why sales is actually so great is that it helps you to build a profitable business quickly, which gives you the freedom to step back from your clinical job, which is, like I said, likely pissing you off. And sales conversations start to be enjoyable, not something that's intimidating or weird or gross or icky. Everybody says salesy. No, it's not like that at all. When you invest in learning sales, you consistently and predictably are able to bring in clients and income, and therefore you are able to have predictable and steady growth in your business. And more specifically, you get to just serve more people, create more impact, and actually grow a business that allows you to drive. So I want you to think about sales as really, like I said, the bridge that connects your passion with your profit. So imagine you're standing on one side of a canyon and you're holding this huge, amazing business idea, and you can't reach the other side where the income, the impact, and the freedom is that you crave that is waiting. So the only way that you are able to cross this canyon is by building a solid, reliable bridge. And that's where sales comes in. So without learning how to sell, your idea and you stay stranded on the other side, on the wrong side, forever just a dream. You're just looking over at the end of the canyon like, oh, wish I could get there. Um, but when you master sales, it builds that bridge and allows your offer to reach the people who need it. It's a path that takes you from to I wish to I did. And so you're creating a seamless connection to your business idea to real world income that it can generate. But when you fail to build that bridge, your ideas stay stuck in potential, like I said again, and you never make an impact. But when you understand the art of sales, that's when you can confidently guide people to the solutions that they need and watch your income grow. All right. Another case study. Let's talk about Biasha. So, Dr. Biasha Jones is an emergency physician, and she's also a life and confidence coach and the creator and founder of Be Out Loud coaching program. So, when she and I interacted with each other, she had just finished residency, and she reached out to me because she had outlined a book about her struggles as a Black woman emergency medicine resident and how she found her voice and her confidence as a physician as well too. She had heard that I had written some books and had some success with it. And so she came to me for advice on that. But when I talked to her, I really started to realize that Biasha didn't want to like wait to publish a book and kind of go through all the struggles and the rigmarole that I went through to publish a book and self-publish it. She really wanted to help other minoritized people now and be confident when their voices and their authenticity through her book. Yes, but really, in a way, she just really wanted to help people right now. She wanted to work with other people. But here was a big problem. Biasha had never heard of life coaching before. She had never heard of coaching before at all. She had zero business experience and, more specifically, no sales experience. We're talking about sales, so we need to talk about sales. She had never, ever, ever had sold anything in her life before. So the one strategy that we implemented with her was we used sales call alchemy, which is the process that I use to implement sales calls and teach you how to sell in your business as a coach, consultant, and even a midterm rental investor as well too. And when she was able to implement sales call alchemy in her brand new business, she has been able to create over $12,000 as a life coach, brand new, and as an entrepreneur, brand new. And she's currently working with her very first two dream clients and absolutely loving the life that she's created along the way. I have to stop and I have to pause just a little bit and make a quick segue talking about Biasha as well too. Not only has Biasha in I think next month. Yep, next month or December is going to be a whole year. She has also gone from being board eligible to board certified. So she studied for her oral boards and passed it while she was launching her business. She has been able to take care of other family members. She has also been able to adjust to her own new life as an attending as well too. But what amazes me about Biasha is that she has done all of this from scratch, just a pure desire to just help people, to solve problems, just to see other minoritized people step out and be out loud. And that is what's driving her to continue to grow her business. And like I said, she's not hiding. She didn't wait and to get a contract or just to side hustle and try to sell her book. No, she started and she stepped out and made bold moves, and she's made so much impact in this world already. And I'm so amazed by her. But Biasha will tell you that by using a proven sales process, that she was able to start transforming other people's lives today. That's the only reason why she got there, she would say, is that because she learned how to sell, and using a proven process was able to help her to get to her dreams quicker and faster than she would ever imagine, and to be a successful entrepreneur as well too. So this is our sales call alchemy, which is, again, something that is inside of my paid program, From Side Hustler to CEO. It's how to have sales conversations in a natural and an empowering way, where you offer the perfect solution for your clients. Sales call alchemy has helped my clients close over $100,000 worth of sales in coaching, consulting, and midterm rentals, while they are working outside of their clinical jobs, even if they're brand new entrepreneurs like Biasha was as well too. And the way we get there with sales call alchemy is this is like a step-by-step process on how to actually have a sales conversation. It's also how to hold the energy of sales. A lot of people don't talk about that there is an energy exchange that happens when you're on a sales call with someone. And so I break down for you exactly what that looks like and the energy that you should be holding on a sales call as well too. This is not your traditional like, oh, sales script, just say these words. No, this is a structured process, but it's not rigid. I'm not giving you a robotic script of telling you exactly what to say. Again, it's more of the energy and the flow of how to have a sales conversation. It really focuses on connecting with people, not being a used car salesman and trying to get somebody to buy a lemon because you need it. But it's really focused on connecting and understanding people for who they are and where they are, and tailoring your solutions to be exactly what they need. And that is also what makes it powerful as well too. What makes it as well powerful is that we talk about overcoming objections. And I always say that objections are not objections. They're also not rejections either. Objections are just questions that you or somebody may have about your offer, and how to answer those questions in a way that will help people to make a decision whether now is the time to work with you or not. So that's a part of all of the magic that's inside of Sales Call Alchemy. It has come from my personal experience of having dozens of failed sales calls, being a bill collector in the past, and knowing how uncomfortable it is to ask people for money on the phone, and doing all of those things. And like I said, in order to have a higher percentage of getting a yes on a sales call. So let's just review. This is the end, getting to the end of the presentation, but we've talked about a lot today. I showed you how pissed off is really exactly what's going to make you profitable. We talked about making your time count and focusing on maximizing your time with taking strategic money making moves and not just being focused on being busy. We're talking about being productive. We also talked about being a fire starter and starting your own coaching, consulting, or midterm rental business that can create money in 90 days or less. And then we also reframed sales. We took the shitness out of sales and we reframed it as solving problems with sales. Well, we've done a lot tonight. And as we've discussed before, I'm sure that you're still having a few problems that you're facing. You're still probably frustrated. You still are thinking that you went into medicine to help people, and it still feels like you're just going through the motions when you walk into work, right? You still may be thinking that you've invested so much in becoming a doctor. Is it a waste to walk away from it now? And you may be thinking that you have ideas, but you don't know the first thing about turning them into a business. Okay. So I want to actually do an exercise with you right now. So I want to take some time to imagine your future. So if you can, wherever you are, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're in a safe place, I want to do this visioning exercise with you. So I'm asking you, if you can, to just close your eyes for a minute and just follow me. So first, I want you to imagine 3 days from now. You've left this class and you've immediately starting to put the steps together that we've discussed into action. You've identified what's burning you out, and you started creating your own fire offer, whether that's your coaching business, the consulting business, or the midterm rental business that you've always been thinking about. You stop doing busy work and even start making money moves. You're feeling excited, even energized, and you feel like you finally have a plan that's going to work. You're no longer stuck just in survival mode. You have a clear path forward. Now, still with your eyes closed if you can, let's jump to about 3 months from now. Your business is up and running. You've closed your first few clients, you're working with them, they're getting amazing results, they're happy, and you're bringing in consistent income. You feel back in control of your life. You're no longer wondering whether or not you'll escape the grind of clinical practice. You already see that you are escaping it. You start to say no to those extra shifts that they may be asking you to. And your fire offer is actually more than just a fire offer. It's a beautiful fire that's burning and it's raging. And it's not in place of anger anymore, but it's a place of peace. And you feel that freedom that you've been craving for so long. You're feeling confident about your ability to sell. and you know exactly how to scale this into making it something bigger. Now, still with your eyes closed if you can, I want you to imagine a year from now, you are making six figures without walking into the hospital. Whether that is, again, your coaching business, your consulting business, or even your midterm rentals. You've built something finally that allows you to choose when and where you work. You stepped away from all the things that once burned you out, and you wake up every single day with a sense of freedom and excitement about what's next. You're not surviving anymore, you're thriving. And you've become the kind of person that calls the shots in your own life, and you're living a life that truly lights you up. So, as with everything else, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to take a second and to ask yourself, what type of person are you seeing in your future? How are they showing up every day? How are they making decisions? You may open your eyes if you're able to open them. This version of you, the one that we just imagined together, I know this for a fact. They don't wait around for permission, they take action. My question is, are you committed to being and acting as this person that you imagined from this point forward? I'm sure you are, but I'm sure you're asking me, yeah, Kim, I sure am, but how do I do this? How? So if you're committed to being that person, the how is the only thing that's stepping you right now and standing in your way. And the good news is that tonight you do not have to worry about the guesswork anymore. Just wonder how to actually go about it. I want to share with you tonight with how you can reach your goals easier and faster than you thought possible. Okay. But before I share this with you, I need to be real honest with you. I got voted most brutally honest in high school, so that continues into my 39-year-old life right now. This is not for everyone. This is not for you if you are expecting to just make money while you sit back and sip margaritas on the beach without putting in any work, because that's not how this works at all. You are in the wrong place. We are talking about building a business that takes focus and some effort, and that's exactly what I am about here. This isn't going to be for you if you're not willing to step up, to speak out, to be visible, to be seen, and to sell like the boss that you really truly are deep inside. This isn't for you if you're just wanting to stay in your comfort zone and you want to continue to play small. Outside of the comfort zone is where all of the magic happens. This is not for you if you want something that is done for you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to give you the tools. I'm here to cheer you on, but I am not here to build your business for you. If you want someone to take it over and do all the work while you watch, yeah, that's not me. You're looking for someone that can be a consultant and help you to start it from scratch, and not me. And this isn't going to be for you if you are like a huge procrastinator. If you've got more excuses than execution, this isn't going to work for you either. My clients make time, they show up, and they get it done. Period. So, this is going to be for you, though, if you're ambitious, if you're motivated, if you're not afraid of putting in the work, if you got goals and you're ready to hit them fast, this is going to be definitely for you. If you know you've got the hidden talents and the skills and the expertise that go beyond you just being a doctor and you want to monetize them, this is going to be for you. If you're not sitting around waiting for someone to give you permission to go ahead and live your life dreams, you're grabbing the life by the reins and you are building what you want right now, this is definitely going to be for you. And if you want more than just money, freedom, if you want more than just money, you want freedom, you want fulfillment and the ability to create impact, this is also going to be here for you as well too. You're here to build a business that's not going to only pay the bills, but also to change lives as well, including your own. So the next step is called From Side Hustler to CEO, which I will help you to start your coaching, consulting, or midterm rental business and make your first or next 5 figures in 90 days or less. And the reason why I created From Side Hustler to CEO is from all the reasons that you've already heard in this presentation. I know exactly what it's like to be pissed off, burnt out, sick of medicine, but not sure exactly how to get out. I wanted a way out of the rut, and I needed to know the exact steps to get out of there. I tried so many different ways from side hustling. I mean, it wasn't until I was able to start a business, more specifically a coaching business and my midterm rental business, that I was able to be free and get out quickly. I also know what it's like to want to be successful, but not always have all the credentials that you need to have after your name in order to do that. I also wanted to teach the skill. I didn't want you to have to get an MBA or do anything else to start a business. I wanted to teach you the skills, the mindset, and the strategies that you needed in order for you to set yourselves apart from 70% of the entrepreneurs out there on the market, and not waste your time or your energy on things that don't make you money and don't even matter in the long run. And more specifically, I wanted to create I created From Side Hustler to CEO because I wanted to see other doctors experiencing some of the same freedoms that I've experienced as well too as an entrepreneur. I know the joy and the excitement and the fulfillment and the amazement that I'm constantly getting from my businesses and how they are growing and they're shifting and they're shaping. And I wanted to make sure that you had a proven process to be able to get that from yourself, for yourself as well too. So From Side Hustler to CEO will give you the skills, the mindset, the strategy, and the strategy to start and grow a profitable coaching, consulting, and midterm rental business and start making money in 90 days or less. So let me show you a little bit about how the process works. The first thing that we go through together is called Ignite. This is the 90-day process for making money outside of the hospital. And so this is the 5-step process that, like I said, we go through inside From Side Hustler and CEO. And funny enough, these are all the ingredients that you need to make an actual real live fire. So we're actually talking about alchemy a little bit here and science a little bit here. So the first thing that we usually cover is mindset. What that's going to start you off with is a solid foundation to approach your business with courage, vision, and drive. Then next, we start talking about offer creation. That's where you turn your expertise into a clear and profitable offer that sells, right? The third step is going to be pricing that offer. So when you focus on pricing your offer, that's going to attract people that are committed to the process, and also to help you to reach your income goals with less stress and less overwhelm. Again, the whole purpose of this is not to burn you out in the process in any step of the way. And where sometimes people falter is they price their services too low, that causes them to be frustrated and to burn out super early. So that's why we focus a lot on the pricing of this as well too. Next, we talk about marketing, where you're going to use your foundational story, and also use your passion in order to announce and launch your offer as well too, and engage people to book sales calls with you. And the last thing is sales. And when you implement sales call alchemy, the proven process and proven system to bring money into your business with ease and with flow. So something else that I have learned as I've been teaching From Side Hustler to CEO and working with clients is that some of you may be overwhelmed with your time right now. You may be dealing with family, maybe dealing, of course, with your clinical work. You also have other personal things that are going on. So I implemented this bonus called the Burnout Proof Playbook, which is really a done-for-you time management system, an action plan specifically designed for busy doctors and to help you balance your clinical work, your life obligations, with you building your new business. So this playbook helps you to structure your week so that you can grow your business and still have time to rest and to recharge. Just curious, does all of this make sense so far? Okay, good. Okay, great. Awesome. So other doctor CEOs are saying about From Side Hustler to CEO that that reclamation, well, Dr. Shar said that reclamation RX has been in her brain for years and she had no ability to make it real. She had people that were banging down her door like, please help me, Sharis, I need you to help me. But she had absolutely no idea to take and translate her experience in growing a brand on social media and building a business on social media to help other people. So working with me inside of From Side Hustler to CEO has helped her to make her dreams a reality. As you heard just a few minutes ago, she's had over 40 inquiries into her business. She's had dozens of sales calls, and now she is starting to narrow down with her first few clients. And this is all happening within 27 days of her starting her business, and right before she's delivering her very first child, and a high risk pregnancy as well too. One of my other clients, Dr. AP Patterson, she's the third year. No, I'm sorry. No, she's a fourth year now, general surgery resident. And she's also the founder and CEO of Power Play Cosmetics. It's a beauty brand to help other Black women, physicians, and high powered women feel confident in their looks when they're in stressful situations. And she says before working with me and From Side Hustler to CEO, she just kind of was just like winging it. She just started a business. She was brand new at entrepreneurship. She loves cosmetics and wants to be a cosmetic surgeon. And so she figured that she should like start to have products and relating to her her ideal dream goal. But she just started a business and had absolutely no idea what she was doing. So um she said that on our very first call that I gave her realistic and tangible advice to grow her business and to put herself out there by marketing. And when she did that in 24 hours, actually less than that, she saw at least 200 people just coming naturally to her website. And so I will also say that she has gone on to make even passive income. She started to get sales into her sleep, and as a general surgery resident, having money coming in the door with you not really having to work for it is amazing. So she is more than pleased about what she's been able to do with her business and with her CEO mindset inside of From Side Hustler to CEO. So let's talk a little bit more about what you get inside when you join us and From Side Hustler to CEO. You get 6 months of both group and one-to-one coaching to go deep and specific on the business that you want to create, of course. You also get access to the private From Side Hustler to CEO mastermind community, where you and other physician CEOs and doctor CEOs are able to talk together, collaborate, mastermind, problem solve together, and help each other grow a business. One thing that I do know is that entrepreneurship can be lonely at times. And so it's always good to have other physicians and other doctors around you that are doing the same thing, so the road doesn't get less long or doesn't get any lonelier. You're less likely to quit entrepreneurship when you're connected with a strong entrepreneurial community around you. You also get unlimited text and email support in between times. So yes, we have our coaching sessions and our coaching calls, both one-to-one and group. But if you need support outside of those times and hours, you do get unlimited text and email support. Of course, you get the fire offer combustion kit. That's very much included in the process. You definitely get sales call alchemy. That is 100% a part of the process. You also get the burnout proof business playbook. So you start off honestly with managing your time well and getting focused on the tasks that you need to be doing to get money in the door stat. And then also you get sales and marketing ICU, which is my process to help you to review and refine your marketing efforts via social media, and also to enhance the sales calls that you're having as well too. You get all of this inside of From Side Hustler to CEO. And like I said, it has been life-changing to deliver this, and has been life-changing to see the other physician CEOs build their business as well too. So there are 3 different investments that you can make in order to join us and from side hustler to CEO. You can decide to just do a one-time investment, a bi-monthly investment, or the monthly investment over the 6-month period of time. The one-time investment is $12,000. The bi-monthly investment is $4,000. And if you pay per month, that is $2,000 per month. So remember, we said that we were action takers, and it's time to take action right now. So if you are ready to join From Side Hustler to CEO, I am so excited to have you. The doors are now open. I strongly encourage you to go ahead and go to KimberlyBrownMD.com /CEO and click the button that says book a decision call. That's where we're going to get on a call with each other and get clear on exactly where you are right now, what type of business that you'd like to create, and anything that's holding you back. And you're going to leave that call with a personalized game plan of exactly how you need to move forward in order to make that dream a reality. And you're going to get that regardless if you decide to join from side hustler to CEO or not. I strongly suggest that you book the sales call. It has been life-changing and valuable for so many people just to have a plan on how to move forward. It can be so overwhelming to want something and just not know how to get it. And so one of the things that I really enjoy doing on calls with people like you is really creating and crafting a unique plan for you and helping you to design what you want. So please go ahead and go to KimberlyBrownMD.com /CEO and go ahead and click a decision call. It is completely free to book a call, but it is a step that you need to take in order to join us in from side hustler to CEO. All right, let's take some questions, okay? And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And Cynthia, if you could also just drop the link in the chat as well too, which is KimberlyBrownMD.com /CEO. And then you're going to go ahead and click on book a decision call. And I am so excited to talk to you. So your first question may be, well, when do the doors of From Side Hustler to CEO close? Great question. So I am going to be closing enrollment from Side Hustler to CEO on Halloween. So that's October 31st. That is a 1 week from today. So we are starting a group of doctor CEOs to be going through the program in November. And so you should book your sales call today in order to make sure that you have the opportunity to join us so that you can start creating the business that you want before 2024 is over. I love for you to be the next testimonial that I share that's like Dimitri that made money in 23 days, or Dr. Sharish that launched her business in 27 days as well too. So the doors from Side Hustle to CEO close on October 31st. You want to make sure that you book your sales call tonight in order to get in on the action. Again, we start in November. All right. What makes From Side Hustler to CEO different from other business coaching programs? I get this so much. What I find the most different about my program, about From Side Hustler to CEO, versus other programs that are out there that would teach you business and help you to be a great business person, an entrepreneur, a coach, consultant, midterm rental business owner, is that this isn't school. You are going to be learning, yes, but schools sometimes can focus so much on the learning that you're not implementing. I love to balance both the learning with the actual implementation of what you're learning. So that's what makes us different from Side Hustler to CEO. It also is built by yours truly, a doctor that is a former side hustler and a recovered, burnt out emergency physician. I'm still working part-time now in the emergency department. So I still understand what it's like to juggle life and business and do all of those things. And so I pride myself that From Side Hustler to CEO is created for currently working doctors that are trying to balance it all. And you can balance it all in a sustainable way. And so that's what makes this program really, really different and really, really unique, is that I still practice clinically, and this is all based on trial and error and what I know works and will not burn you out along the way. Do you need prior business experience? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if you have never, ever started a business before, I love that. You're almost the best person to go ahead and join us in From Side Hustler to CEO. Here's why. You're not all tainted by any preconceived notions or have old habits that you need to break as an entrepreneur. You really get to start from scratch, and you're just like a clean slate, and you really get to learn the right way the very first time, and you're successful quicker. Think about Dr. Biasha. Like, she is never been an entrepreneur before, never been a coach before, like none of those things. And she's still been able to build a successful and transformative life coaching business and earn over $12,000 in her business as a new entrepreneur, as a coach as well too. So again, no, you absolutely do not need to have any business experience. However, if you do have some background experience, great. That's going to be even more awesome as well too. But don't feel like you need to be at a certain level in order to join us from Side Hustler to CEO. I get this question a lot. Do I need to have good credit before I start a midterm rental? Good credit, good personal credit can be helpful when you're starting your own midterm rental business, but it is not absolutely required. And from Side Hustler to CEO, I will teach you to start your own midterm rental business with using a combination of rental arbitrage and corporate leasing, which is all under an LLC or a business name. So if it's under a business name, your personal credit does not matter as much. However, I do also teach you how you can build business credit in order to get access to bigger income funds and streams so that you can furnish your place and use your business credit in other different ways to expand your business quickly. So those are some of the things that we do work on. But just so you know, you don't need to have good personal credit necessarily before you start a midterm rental. If you have questions about that, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and book a decision call with me. Again, using the link at the bottom of the screen here. If you have specific and individual questions about like your credit history, things like that, we can definitely walk through that. But it's better addressed and probably more personally addressed if we talk about it on the sales call. So yeah, just let me know if that's something that you have a question about. But more specific, like I said, I strongly suggest that you book a call so we can talk about your specific situation and we can make sure that we have a game plan that works for you. Another question I get is, do you need to be certified as a coach before you actually start coaching and start selling a coaching business? And the answer is no. Again, Dr. Biasha has never even heard of coaching before, and now she's coaching without a certification. I started my business personally in the middle of a coaching certification. I didn't get my coaching certification until 6 months after I started my business, my coaching business. So that's not necessary. More specifically as well too, it's not necessary because I find that most coaching certifications are not going to teach you the sales and the marketing skills to actually make you a successful coach, to help you to bring clients in the door and start changing their lives. So if you are certified, great, I can definitely help you because we can substitute some of those sales and marketing skills that you're probably missing from the certification and help you to become a successful business owner. But again, it's not required for you to be certified as a coach before you do that. The last question that I usually get is, I don't want to purchase a property, but I'm really ready to invest in real estate, which is awesome. I love that. Of course, like I said, I did not purchase any property. The fastest way to start a midterm rental business is not to purchase any property. And I definitely suggest that you do OPP, again, using other people's property in order to start your own business. So I will help you to secure your first property using, like I said, the combination of corporate leasing and rental arbitrage in order for you to start making money in 90 days or less. So definitely, you don't have to buy a property. It's completely legal. It's completely safe, and it is not illegal at all as well too. Tonight has been incredible. I hope you've learned so much. I trust that you've learned so much, more specifically about how to transform what pisses you off into a profitable business and give you the actionable steps that you need to take in order for you to do that. I don't want you to waste any more time. I don't want you to waste any more energy. The doors from Side Hustler to CEO are now open for you, and they're open for the entire week. I strongly encourage you to not only to book your sales call with me so you can find out and decide for yourself, hey, it's now really the right time to join from side hustler to CEO, but also to bet on yourself. I know you came to this masterclass knowing that there's something bigger for you, that you wanted something more for yourself, that you have a desire to serve in a deeper and a more powerful way. And you don't just want to be pissed off just to be pissed off. You really want to channel that energy into something that's profitable, that will free you from the golden shackles of medicine. And so again, from side hustler to CEO is really that solution for you. If you have questions, if this sounds like it's right for you, again, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and book your sales call at KimberlyBrownMD.com/CEO. And I super look forward to welcoming you inside of From Side Hustler to CEO. And yeah, oh my goodness. I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, hearing more about From Side Hustler to CEO. And I trust, like I said, that you have learned something tonight that is going to help you to change not only your life, but lives of people around you as well, too. So I would be so excited to join you, have you to join us in From Side Hustler to CEO. There's a couple of my clients that are on the call right now. If you have any questions, I'm sure that they would have no problem answering them. But more specifically, I strongly encourage you to book your sales call with me, like I said. And you're probably like, oh, what's it like being on a sales call with you? I practice what I preach, y'all. I'm not weirdish. It's not going to be icky. It's not going to be gross. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about you and how From Side Hustler to CEO can help you to get to the dreams that you want, to take what's pissing you off and turn it into profit yourself as well, too. So I look forward to talking with you on a sales call very soon. I'm going to let you have the remainder of your night back. And thank you again so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have an amazing night, and I look forward to talking to you soon on a sales call. All right, bye. Thank you for listening to the Docs Get Money podcast. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcast. Share, comment, follow, and subscribe to the Docs Get Money podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to know more, visit me, Dr. Kimberly Brown, at KimberlyBrownMD.com, and be sure to follow me at Dr. Kimberly B on Instagram. And until next time, let's go get this money, honey.